Hello and welcome to Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. It is the home opener against the New York Yankees. We're here at PNC Park because it's Pittsburgh Pirates franchise, and that's just where we play. You can see our projected leaders. Brian Reynolds, our fearless leader, is here. We're supposed to be terrible if you're new. That's why we're the Pirates. That's not why we're the Pirates, but just the state of the Pirates currently. We're trying to turn that around. But Brian Reynolds looks to be electric. And today, we try to take down the big, bad New York Yankees. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. As you guys can see, Andrew Heaney's first start did not go completely according to plan. He went 1/3 of an inning. He has an ERA of 135, which it's safe to say, if your ERA starts with the words 100, it's not going great. I think that's like a fair thing to say. So we're going to try to improve that a little bit today. He's only got 3 pitches, so we'll see how we go. But I am hoping that we stand a chance here. So the Yankees have all their like normal people, obviously. Heaney we got from the Rangers. The season for us, if you missed last episode, go watch it. Maybe after this video, potentially. But we are 3-4 at this point. We lost opening day, then we reeled off 3 in a row, then we lost 3 in a row, as here's the Yankees lineup. Oswaldo Cabrera is the guy next. Aaron Judge, Ben Rice, Austin Wells, Volpe, Dominguez, Oswald Peraza, and Pablo Reyes. So not like the craziest Yankees lineup they've ever assembled, but it's still the Yankees. You'd still like to beat them here. And not a lot of crazy averages for them early. But yeah, for us, we have started the year, we're 3-4. Mitch Keller has a couple of tough losses. His ERA is like sub-3, I believe. Andrew Heaney, this is his second outing of the year. And we're hoping it goes better than its first. And already it has, because now he's gotten 2 outs. Which you love to see. That didn't happen last time, evidently. So, basically, we're killing it. Here's Aaron Judge, who we would love to, like, not allow just a missile to. There's our defensive alignment, if you guys are curious. It's basically the same. Kiner Falefa is in the game today because we're facing Carlos Rodon, as you guys will see momentarily. But we need a strikeout here of Aaron Judge. And that one's just a piss rod foul. A strikeout here would be really nice. And we're getting squeezed already. It's Andrew Heaney, man. We need those calls to go our way. At least a little. I don't need every call, but man, against Aaron Judge, I would love that. So we got to battle through it, I guess. As we do wind up striking out Aaron Judge to end the top of the first. So we're killing it, basically, is what I'm telling you. So we get the pleasure of facing Carlos Rodon today. He lost his first start. A 7.2 ERA. Just didn't go well for him, I guess. Oh, and that's I mean, we're getting bent over the barrel both ways, Blue. It's the first inning. Jesus. What are we doing? That's a strike all the way. Cruz, for us, actually has had a pretty good start to his year. He's hitting .310. He has 3 homers already in 7 games. As we strike out here, but it might work out. Just a terrible swing by me, but the speed kills, and he's now on first base, which brings up shortstop Isaiah Kiner Falefa. And we're just a little bit early. He hasn't had like a crazy start to his year. It's been good enough, I guess. He did not start in the first video on opening day because we had other people that we wanted to see, but he's finding some playing time pretty regularly for us, and I imagine that's just going to continue. The strike zone is already off the rails, and we're like 17 pitches into the game. We're still only 2 out of the division lead, which I know it's really early to be talking about that, as Kiner Falefa lines one into right field for a base hit. And we're in business. Things are happening at PNC Park on the home opener, as here's Bryan Reynolds, who takes a ball inside. He's been decent enough. You would love for him to take another step forward, but it's early. We're like a week into the season. So hopefully by the end of the episode, he's taken a big step forward after we play this game and simulate some. As we miss a fastball down the middle, and that one's on me. That's my bad. I should say we're playing on Hall of Fame, if you guys are new. Just to give us a shot at offense as we bloop one into right field for a hit. Here comes Kiner Falefa. Nope, that's O'Neal Cruz is going to score, and Kiner Falefa is already standing at third base. A great call by me, obviously, as Bryan Reynolds just shoots one the other way. And we're killing it here early. Rodon just may not have it today, because we're not the best hitting team in the world, obviously, as we are the Pirates. And we also haven't really hit the ball hard yet. And that's going to be the first out. And I'll take personal responsibility for that swing, because oh my god, it would be great of Kutch here to like drive one in, get a fly ball, get us up 2-0 for Andrew Heaney. It's a grounder, a diving play, and it's a double play. That's an insane double play by, I think, Oswaldo Cabrera over at third base. Wow. I mean, we scored a run, so we'll take that, you know, but by the third baseman there, as we hang one to Ben Rice, we're getting bailed early. That's the only way to say that. It's really just not the Yankees, like, bats and offense that I guess you would have come to expect. As we make a bad throw from Gonzalez. Maybe. Nope, Austin Wells is just slow and not hustling. So that bails us out, actually. But it's just really, it's not the, like, potent offense you're used to seeing from the Yankees. Like, I feel like they have big bats normally. This is going to be a quick inning from us. I mean, Andrew Heaney is shoving. The Cy Young is back on. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes. He had a massive opening day. He had 4 hits. And he's honestly just continued that. He's hitting 468, excuse me, here early in the year. And if he can hit, I mean, even 270 for the year with the defense that he provides, that's going to be pretty crazy, as we do hit it hard, but at the third baseman, which is tough. But if he can take a massive step forward at the plate, and he can be even just a league average hitter, or a slightly above league average hitter, if he can be like a 105 OPS plus guy, I mean, you take that in a heartbeat from Ke'Bryan Hayes. Our pitching stats from last series, we had a 173 ERA somehow, and all of that was simulated. So our pitching actually has been pretty good. The hitting has been less than good, which I think is just going to be the theme for this. Andrew Heaney, I believe, started in the series before that graphic, because his start did not go well at all. But our pitching has honestly been pretty good, which makes sense. We have Paul Skeens, who pitched in actual opening day last video, if you guys want to see him pitch. We also have guys like Mitch Keller, who has showed up in a big way for us here. Even though he has lost 2 games, he's pitched really well. And quite like in real life, he just hasn't gotten run support. As that's a ground ball to Nick Gonzalez, who makes a play. Jason Dominguez actually hustling. Do the Yankees have 2 people named Oswald or Oswaldo? They do. I mean, you can't. They do. They have an Oswaldo Cabrera and an Oswald Peraza. I mean, the odds of that just can't be. I don't know that I know any Oswaldos in my personal life, as that's a base hit for Peraza. And they have two of them on the same team. It's kind of insane if you really think about it. And Pablo Reyes, this is just straight up not a serious Yankees roster. I mean, it is, right? But it's not like a great roster. As we turn a double play, no, we just miss. As we've actually been pretty good today. Heaney has really good accuracy, which is helpful when like you're using him, obviously. The problem is he just doesn't have great pitches, really. And he's getting squeezed. He alienated the umpire somehow. What are we talking about here? I mean, that's the same as the first pitch. As that ball's in the right field, it doesn't really cost us because it wouldn't have been an out, but it does a double happen on the next pitch. And I will say psychologically, that is devastating. Oh, it brings up Oswaldo Cabrera, who is actually a much more welcome sight because I thought we were about to run into Aaron Judge there, but we're not, actually. So that's a win, I think, because we're ahead 0-2 here to Cabrera. Can we get the strikeout to end the inning? We don't, and for some reason Tommy Pham is in center field today, but he makes the play. I should probably change that. Tommy needs to be... Where's Cruz playing? O'Neal Cruz is the center field. I want to make that clear. I was messing with the lineups earlier, and I guess I flipped Pham to center field accidentally. I was trying to get McCutchen out of the field. I want Kutch at this point to basically just be a DH, and maybe he'll play 20 games in the outfield. But there's really not a huge point in him playing the outfield at this point because he is just not it defensively. Not that Tommy Pham is a huge improvement, but he's more there, I feel like, in my heart than Kutch is. As we work a walk here with Tommy Pham. That would be huge as he rips one down the line. It's fair under Ben Rice's glove. And it's going to be first and third, no outs. Do we need some insurance? Because I just don't trust that Heaney's going to keep the pitching well. But huge, huge opportunity here for us. We just have to capitalize. And it's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa who already has a hit today. And he'll lace one into left field. And it's caught and just simply not deep enough. We could have sent it, but a good throw. We're out by 30 feet. But it brings up Brian Reynolds. So we need a hit here, without question. Or like a deep fly ball would do it. And we strike out with Reynolds. And it brings up the cleanup hitter for us. All right, we're down 0-2 here with Bart. Need to come through. And we take a ball. And we strike out to end the inning. So we get first and third, no outs. And we just can't score. And that's just awfully tough. Here's big, bad Aaron Judge. Who's, I mean, light years in front of a changeup. If that pitch was 120 miles an hour, he still probably would have been early on it. As he'll chop it to Cabrian Hayes. Who gets the first out of the inning. Here's Austin Wells. He's had a nice year. He's on my fantasy team, so I'm very aware of Austin Wells' actual season. It hasn't started well in this sim, however, as O'Neal Cruz gets a horrible read on a ball, but makes up for it because he's like 6'9" and has reasonable speed, and makes a play and somehow keeps Ben Rice to second base, which means Anthony Volpe has to hit a single to get him in, and we're getting squeezed still. It's a chronic problem for us. We just are constantly throwing strikes that aren't being counted. It's 2-2. Can we get the strikeout to end the inning? We nibble on the corner, but he doesn't chase. I think it's a changeup down and away here. Try to get him to roll over. And he just takes strike 3. And Andrew Heaney has thrown 4 scoreless against the Yankees. Bellinger's in shock. I think that was Bellinger. Hard to tell sometimes. I would love some offense here. Like, well, when I say offense, I would love a run or 2. That would be sick. Because I feel like trying to beat the Yankees 1-0 is not a sustainable game plan. I don't want to be super controversial, but I do think that that's going to be a difficult task for us, as we're 3-1 here with McCutchen. So we can kind of keyhole. I'm going to look for a fastball in here. And if it's not that, we're taking. And it wasn't that, so we took ball 4. So McCutchen gets on base. We're doing okay. I feel like we're a bat or 2 or 5. We're basically a feasible lineup away from being a good team, which is what we're working towards here, as Nick Gonzalez evidently went 2 for 3 last game. So he puts a charge into that one into center field, and that is going to be off the wall. I thought it might get caught, so we kind of like just half went with McCutchen, but it's a double for Nick Gonzalez. And again, we have an opportunity to put up some runs. And I don't know why they're out of the dugout right now. That's a very odd thing to come out of the dugout for, a just non-RBI double. But that's the vibe, evidently. As Nick Gonzalez stands at second base, and it brings up our best hitter, Ke'Bryan Hayes, hitting .458 somehow. No doubt carried by the 4-hit day on opening day, as that ball's hit high into right center. And honestly, it's going to score a run. And that's all we could ask for at this point, as we're up 2-0. And we're out of the dugout again. The vibes, I guess, just are great in virtual Pittsburgh, because everybody's celebrating out of the dugout at all times, which I don't hate. You know what? You gotta have fun. It's a long season. I don't want to foreshadow or jinx anything, but likely we're not going to win a ton of games. Especially if I'm taking swings like that. As that's a ground ball, and it is fielded. And the play is made, but we drive in another run, and it's 3-0. So we have achieved offense. All it took was me complaining. Let that be a life lesson to you people. If things aren't happening, just complain about it, and then suddenly it'll happen. It's going to be when I run for president in about 30 years. That'll be the platform. Just everybody start complaining, and things will get fixed. It's worked so well for society as a whole. Pham puts a charge into one in the left center field, and he hits it into the seats. That one's gone. I was going to say it's exactly the wrong part of the ballpark, but he hit it out. 107, 418. It's his second of the year. And another just massive insurance run. It's 4-0. I really didn't think he got it. I knew it was going to be, I thought it was a double off the bat. But I guess it had just enough elevation, and I do think the wind is out just enough that it carried. I mean, it's the deepest part of the ballpark right there. It's 410 to that like triangle area by the bullpen. And it just got out, which is wild. I did not think that was going to happen. Here's O'Neal Cruz, who, truth be told, is probably a better hitter than Ke'Bryan Hayes. As that ball's laced into left center field, and that might get down, as Rodon is kind of getting roughed up a little bit. And that is going to be a double for O'Neal Cruz, who continues his good start to this season. And now Kiner Falefa wants to get in on the party and hits the hardest ball he has ever hit. I feel pretty comfortable saying that, but it was foul. So rest in peace. Kiner Falefa throw me a ball. Well, he's hitting. So if he throws you a ball, something's gone horribly wrong in this interaction. As it's 1-2. And yeah, I mean, that's my bad. But we drive in 3 more. Complaining works. I think if Heaney can just give us... I say just. If he can get us through the next 2-ish innings, if he can get us through 6 plus, if he can pitch into the 7th inning, we have a real good shot. I think it gets a little sketchier if we try to bring the bullpen in, as we've learned, is that's a strike. I mean, we'll take it. But I need that call against Aaron Judge, not against Oswaldo Peraza. No offense, Oswaldo Peraza. But, like, you catch what I'm feeling. You feel it. And we strike him out. Heaney, just deal it on the hill. 0-2 here. Can we get the strikeout of Reyes? We can't. But we'll get a ground out. And Heaney has settled in nicely through 5. We have somebody coming in. It's... I'm going to go Yoendris Gomez. And if that's incorrect, my deepest apologies, Yoendris. He apparently had a pretty banger first outing. 3 innings, no hits, no walks, no nothing, a bunch of strikeouts. So good for him. We're going to try to ruin that streak, I think, a little bit, by starting with getting at least a hit. And it's starting so great, as you can tell. I mean, just look at that offense that just occurred. So we pop up again. If anybody can get us started, it's McCutchen, who hits one high and deep into right center field. And that might one-hop into the river. Andrew McCutchen pulverizes a ball. I mean, that ball was just destroyed. And can I just say, great call by me. Really teed that up nicely. And that ball was, I mean, destroyed. Feels fair. Is he going to get the home run sword? He does. A great addition to the Pirates is the home run sword as we get an uncomfortable look at his face. And then just a nuke. The other way, too. I mean, not totally the other way. I kind of want to see where it landed. Does it make it to the river? It definitely bounces before. It doesn't look like it did. No, it looks like it hit the back wall. But, like, a good attempt from a righty. That's, like, honestly impressive. And it puts us up 5-0. And it ruins Yoendris Gomez's day. Or his perfect season, I guess. As that ball was kind of ripped foul. So we chase up and out of the zone a little bit. Will it work out for us? It kind of does. Bellinger dives and couldn't make the play. And we're on with 2 outs with Nick Gonzalez. Which brings up Ke'Bryan Hayes, who I think had a sac fly earlier to drive in a run. And now he rips one down the line. Can he beat this out? 43 speed, and he just barely does. Is that going to count as a hit? A diving play, not a great throw. It is counted as a hit, so the batting average continues to rise for him. Tough play. I think with a good throw, he's likely out, but it's tough to charge that as an error after a diving attempt. 2-0 here to Emmanuel Valdez, who has held his own-ish as that ball's crushed into right field, and when it rains, it pours. And that ball is way out of here as well. And the route is on in Pittsburgh. I was going to say he's holding his own, and then he hits a homer. So if he keeps doing that, he's going to stay in the big leagues. Not that there's another great option to replace him at this point. But a huge inning for Pittsburgh. As he just crushed that baseball. Did that make it into the river? I kind of think it didn't. We're going to get a new pitcher from that guy who looks like the corpse of Aaron Boone, which means that's meant to look like Aaron Boone. I mean, they definitely nailed his likeness a little bit. It just looks like he's been dead for 5 years. And they pulled up his body. Here's Ryan Yarbrough. I believe a former Rays guy. That feels right to me. It bounced. I think another bounce, it gets into the river. I know it doesn't show that, but it bounces, and then I think another bounce right there, and then it's into the river. The replay just cuts off at that point. And that's today's stats. I mean, we're pitching a blank with Heaney, and now we have actual meaningful insurance, so maybe just one more inning, and we're in a great spot to take him out and just let the bullpen handle things. The Oregon player is going crazy. That ball's ripped into left field the other way against the shift. And that's going to be a leadoff double for Cody Bellinger. I stand by. I would love another inning at least out of Heaney. But I also am not going to let the Yankees back into the game by trying to force him through this inning. If they put up a run or two, I'm okay with that. But we're definitely not just going to let him flail and completely let the Yankees back into the game. As the play at the plate is late, and it's 1-0. It's 1-0. It's 8-1 as the Yankees put up a run. And that brings up Aaron Judge. As that is just chopped into the dirt. We're just going to take the out at this stage in the game. Maybe had a shot at second base. But, like, why? You know, with a 7-run lead. I would love to not let the Yankees completely back into the game. So another get out of this inning here with Heaney. Not burn him too much. Call it a day as that ball's ripped into left center field. And that's going to be another run as it's now 8-2. And the Yankees are showing life. Maybe I'm jinxing. I'm just going to stop talking about the line to take Heaney out, and I'm just going to start warming some people up. Double play here would do numbers for us, as that's all the way in the strike zone, Blue. I mean, all the way in the strike zone, and it's ball one. And that one's just fisted out to the outfield. And, I mean, the Yankees are right back into the game. As we strike out Anthony Volpe with a nice changeup below the zone. And it brings up Jason Dominguez. And an out here would be massive. It lets us keep our lead a little bit. So that ball's ripped into right field, and Ryan Reynolds makes the play to end the inning. 2-2 here to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who laces one up the middle for a base hit. And we're just going to keep chipping on offense. You need big days like this as a team to help the offensive numbers look a little better. I know it's just one game. But Brian Reynolds puts a charge into one in the left center field, and that is going to get down and like two-hop the fence. And Brian Reynolds is going to have an RBI double. And again, just keep posting numbers for the Pittsburgh offense. You don't get a lot of days like this, I don't think, if you're Pittsburgh. So we'll take the days that we do get. Bart, I feel like, has not partaken in the offensive things today, really. So I'm going to have to look into that, probably. But McCutchen hit a homer last time. Oh, and he had another pitch to do it there, and I popped it up. That's tough. We're up 9-2, though. And we're going to bring in a new pitcher. Heaney did a great job. But it's David Bednar's time, and I know last video we brought him in on opening day, and he blew a lead, I think, in the 8th. So he hasn't pitched since then in Sim, So I would like to get him in now in a much less meaningful situation. Just to get him some work, because I do think that is important to just try to get guys some innings. And this would, you know, if we were in real life, this would be a great bounce back situation if you haven't pitched in a week since opening day or you blew a game. To do it in, as Bednar gets a ground out. Still am not real sure what to do with David Bednar. I don't really know if it should be try to trade him, try to convert him to a late inning guy like he was. He's a real question mark for me in my head. So if you've made it to this point in the video and you have ideas, you can go ahead and tell me what you think, and I'll take it into consideration. A diving play by Ke'Bryan Hayes to make an out. What a nice play to end the inning. I don't know that it was a totally necessary dive. Maybe. But he made the play. Ryan Yarbrough is just going to stay in. Well, if the bats can hit like this in sim, even like 50% of this in sim, I think we're maybe closer than I thought. The question is going to be, can the pitching hold up like it has been? Because the pitching has kind of been nuts. I'll show you guys the schedule after this and some of the stats. But if the pitching can maintain where it's at, or even like a half step back, and the bats can do like half of this even, I think we're not that far away from being a competitive team. The problem is, I just don't have faith. Like, Ke'Bryan Hayes is hitting 480 right now. Kind of thought I swung at that, I won't lie to you. Ke'Bryan Hayes is hitting 480 right now, and that just obviously is going to regress as the season continues. Like, he's going to have an 0 for 10. It's just going to happen. Every player has an 0 for 10, an 0 for 20, 0 for 15, like a 1 for whatever. It's, can we sustain the offense without a guy hitting 480 at any given time? Because cold streaks happen, obviously. I don't think we're competitive at this stage over a 162-game season. But you never know. Ke'Bryan Hayes, by the way, crushes a ball into left field, and that one's gone. And we are shelling the New York Yankees, which feels good. I won't lie to you. I mean, the changeup stayed up, and Ke'Bryan Hayes crushed it into left center field. A busy part of the ballpark tonight. 438 into left center field. So we get under it. We'll go to the top of the 8th with an 8-run lead. Good for Ke'Bryan, man. Have a year, dude. We're just going to bring Justin Lawrence into the game. It'll be his 3rd appearance. He hasn't pitched a ton for us at this point. Not for any real reason, other than it's just hard to get everybody a lot of innings. But he is on the lower side of bullpen innings pitched at this point, so this feels like a good opportunity to get him in. Again, lower stress. He's not a high leverage arm for us, which is part of the reason why he hasn't pitched a ton. Oh, God. That ball's crushed. Brian Reynolds can't quite get there, and that is going to be a double for Aaron Judge, as that sweeper did not sweep. And more swope. It hung. And we're very lucky that that didn't wind up in the river. And that ball is pummeled into right field. And just over the fence for a home run, and it's 10-4. The Yankees potentially clawing their way back. Maybe we try a slider down below the zone rather than a sweeper. It's an idea. That ball is rolled over to Nick Gonzalez, who makes the play without incident this time against Austin Wells. Make it 0-2. And now it's 0-3 as we strike him out. We still have a big lead. That's what we got to remind ourselves. The Yankees have put up offense, but they were always going to put up offense. But our offense showed up to play today. Ryan Yarbrough just staying in the game. Reynolds hits a ground ball to second. And we're going to go to the ninth, up 6. Which is very exciting. Look, I can move the camera. That's crazy. Look at downtown. All right, we are going to do the Dennis Santana thing. He's 1 for 1 in saves. This is not a save opportunity. But he's only pitched once in the first week of the season. And I would like to see it. So it's all the way in the strike zone, and we don't get the call. I mean, that should be strike 3. That is a perfectly executed pitch. And we just don't get it, and it causes a home run. I mean, that's a makeup call. I mean, the game has never given more makeup calls than it is right now. Is that strike 3 on Peraza? We'll see. That's strike 3 on Pablo Reyes. There should be 3 up, 3 down, as instead of homer and 2 strikeouts. It does let us face Bellinger. See what we have. Throw a cutter in. Just try to get out of here without incident. Too much of an incident. Try to bury a changeup here to end the game. Didn't quite happen. Oswaldo Cabrera is on deck. Doesn't matter. We strike out Bellinger to end the game. And we win opening day at home. We win the home opener. Which is big for us, I feel like. That guy has a sign that he is not able to use super often, I don't think. But we take it. Andrew Heaney goes to 1-1. Rodon drops to 0-2. Santana closes it out, but not a save situation, obviously. 13 hits for us is pretty good. I think the rhythm for these is we're going to start in a game, and then I'll update you guys either during the game or after the game as to the current state of the team. But you can see we go to 4-4. The Yankees drop to 4-3. We're going to simulate a little bit after this as well, maybe do a few moments. But yeah, this is the current state of the team. All right, we are actually going to set scouting here. Welcome to the Scouting Big Board. Here's your chance to scout prospects for the amateur draft. Scouting assignments on a weekly basis for 14 weeks. Okay, I assume that this kind of works how it normally does. Select 3 positions to improve. I kind of feel like we need to improve everything. O'Neal Cruz is a center fielder. Brian Reynolds is going to wind up being a corner outfielder for us, probably through the remainder of his contract, so we need another corner outfield. Middle infield, I feel okay about long-term because we're looking at Tamar Johnson and I think it's Caden York. And then Nick Gonzalez can move to shortstop. I would love a first baseman. There's potential at catcher that we're going to be okay, but I don't know for sure. And then just bullpen help, probably. We're okay at, like, starting pitching, I feel like. But I think the bullpen, it gets dicey. Is where we're at. Each scout has 4 attributes. Okay, I'm going to click through this. Here's, I think, what we're going to do first. Is we're just going to discover a lot of people. Because we don't really know a ton about these guys, obviously. And I think our number 1 priority, our scouting, by the way, we have these people. This guy is cracked as hell, or girl, I guess. Nikki Donovan could go either way. Could be both. It's 2025. I don't know. But they're really good at position players, so I think that's going to be what they're going to do, likely. I would like for them to figure out the first base situation. I would love to say anywhere, but maybe just in the West. We'll do things. And then this guy, I think we're just gonna say discover some new prospects. Maybe internationally. We'll see how that works. And then this guy, we're just gonna say discover new prospects. Maybe in the outfield. We'll say outfield and go east. We'll cover some bases. But I think that's where we're gonna start. I think finalize that and we'll see. We're gonna simulate a few more games and then call it an episode probably. We're gonna simulate through the homestand, I think. All right, it is the top of the 10th. The bases are loaded. We are facing the St. Louis Cardinals. And I would love to get out of the inning. I know that's going to be controversial. But Justin Lawrence is in the game. And we have burned a lot of pitchers to get to this point. So this would be huge for us. Mason Wynn is up. He's their 4-hole hitter today for St. Louis. So that one's foul. Getting out of the inning would be massive, honestly. So that one's foul. And we strike out Mason Wynn. And it brings up Ivan Herrera. So we got to come back in the zone here. Not that far in the zone. Frazier, a diving play, doesn't make it cleanly and a run scores. We throw a sweeper that hangs and Valdez fields it to make the play. And that's just tough. Brian Hayes' average is all the way down to 368. So things have not gone well for him lately, I guess. And by lately, I mean like the 2-ish games we've simulated to get to this point. Facing Phil Matone, former Met. A walk-off home run would be huge. So we do strike out with Hayes, and that is going to bring up Adam Frazier, who honestly is a pretty good option at this point. Kind of a good lefty contact bat. Capable of some power, as we saw at opening day. So if he can put a charge into one. Although it looks like the flags are blowing straight to left field. It's not going to matter, as that is going to pop out and end the game. Andrew McCutchen fractured his arm in that game. Oh, that's devastating news. I mean, we have to 60-day DL him. Oh, that's tough. All right, I'm going to have to figure that out. Honestly, that's how the episode is ending. Just crushing news, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.